Good morning, everyone. So I had hoped and I had anticipated introducing our new young adult and membership manager this morning. And unfortunately, I got an email this morning that she's sick. So, postponed, fingers crossed, next week we'll have her come up here. She, if you didn't see her bio and picture in the Flame this week, visit that and you'll get to see her. She's a lovely person, and I'm really excited about her joining staff and bringing her skills and her gifts as well. So our story this morning is kind of a little different in the story of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Oftentimes when we hear stories about Dr. King, we hear about what he's done, and not necessarily about who might have supported him. And this morning's story is about a mule named Belle that helped him in his work. So a little boy named Alex sat on a bench outside the general store waiting for his mom. Across the way, there was a mule munching on a bright row of collard greens. Soon, a woman joined him on the bench. The woman turned to Alex and said, "Myself, I like my collard greens with some ham and spiced vinegar." I was just thinking how much that mule can eat. Alex smiled and asked, Is it allowed to eat someone's garden like that?" "Oh, Belle, of course. She can have all the collards she wants. She's earned it. I let her loose, and that's my garden." "But, ma'am, why do you let the mule eat your greens?" "Well, son, my name is Miss Pedway. What's yours?" "Alex," he replied. "Well, Alex, Belle's a very special mule. She's a hero here in Gee's Bend, and I'd like to show her some respect." "What's so special about a mule?" Alex asked. "You see, Belle's been with us for many years. She was here the day Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. came to speak to us way back in 1965. Dr. King came to tell us we needed to take the ferry across to Camden and register to vote. 'Cross the river to freedom,' he sang out. He told us we mattered and we had the right to vote. You understand, Alex, back then no black person from Wilcox County had ever dared to vote." "Were you scared?" asked Alex. "I don't think we were scared. Not after Dr. King spoke to us. We felt strong like our mules, and we did just what he told us to do. So many went to register that we almost swamped that little ferry. But we must have scared those folks in Camden, because the next thing we knew, they shut down the ferry. The white sheriff wanted to keep us in our place." "What did you do next?" Alex asked. "Well, when it came time to vote, we filled our few cars with as many people as we could fit, and then our mules, like Belle, carried wagon loads of people around the river all day to vote. It took half a day to get there, but it was worth it. We clapped and we sang all the way to town, and folks in Camden were sure surprised." "You showed them," Alex said. "Is that why Belle's your hero?" "That's not the whole story. When Dr. King was shot and killed, we got a phone call asking if our mules could pull Dr. King's coffin through the streets of Atlanta. Belle and another mule named Ada were loaded onto a truck to go to Atlanta. State policemen tried to stop the truck, but calls were made to the governors of Alabama and Georgia, and it was suggested that it might not be good news if they stopped those trucks. And soon they were able to continue on their way. Belle and Ada bravely pulled Dr. King's coffin 3.5 miles through streets full of grieving and weeping people. 60,000 people gathered for Dr. King's funeral. That's why we love our last mule, Belle, and why I let her eat all the collard greens she wants. Dr. King told us that even though we lead simple, hard lives, we were still somebody, Miss Pedway said. And even a mule can be a hero, Alex said. And that's our story.